Hello everyone, my name is Nicola Yoon and I'm here today with my main editor Haysan Morris.
Hello.
We're here today to present a masterclass on my recent best-selling young adult novel, Everything Everything.
First, we're going to give you a quick introduction to the book, and then we're going to go in depth and answer some of the many questions you guys have sent in. Do you want to start with the briefing, Nicola?
Sure, Haysan. So Everything Everything is a young adult novel centered around an 18-year-old girl named Madeline Whittle. She suffers from severe combined immunodeficiency, better known as baby bubble disease, and this means that her immune system is incredibly weak. She has had to stay in sanitization all her life.
As our first question, Isa Ansari asks, who was the target audience of this book, and why? This book was targeted initially for young adults, as it is during the age of 13 to 20 that people struggled the most to be happy with themselves and to form their own identity. However, this book soon became much successful to a wider range of audiences due to how relatable it is with the main audience of a young adult novel, a teenager's life. Our second question was sent in by Samir Khan, and he asks, where was the novel set, and why did you choose that location?
Since the novel is centered around the whole idea that Madeline is stuck in her house, not being able to experience the outside world, and just to emphasize what she misses out on, specifically I chose Los Angeles and as the setting. Los Angeles has often warm, sunny weather, and is also nicknamed the City of Flowers and Sunshine. This is also in direct contrast to Hawaii later in the story, where Madeline does finally get to experience all of this.
The next question is from Cooper Tiffin, and he says, when writing the novel, did you consider the amount of characters? This is quite interesting, and I think I can explain some of the reasoning behind it. In the design of the novel, we planned to have a very streamlined and simple plot, mainly centering around Madeline and Oliver. This classifies it as a young adult novel, and so, in design, we knew that Madeline and Ollie were needed as the main characters. Madeline's mother plays a large role in the plot, but not in the main conflict between the lovers. And Carla was on the side, just to show Madeline's limited connections to other people in the outside world. So the cast of the main characters ended up being very small, and we believed it worked quite well for the story. Jack Barton asks, what was the main theme of the novel, and how did you convey this?
Now, I'm assuming most of you have read my book. You all know that the main protagonist, Madeline, has had her entire existence defined by her supposed illness. Put your hand up if you have a room filled with pictures, awards, toys, quotes, and things that are meaningful to you, displayed on the bright walls that define and let you embrace who you are. Well, you see, Madeline doesn't have any of this, because she stays in her white room against her white walls on her glistening white bookshelves, book spines providing the only color. This is an example of imagery, and this effectively compares the blank room to Madeline, showing that the connection between the lack of identity. This is to say that she has no color in her life, no creativity and why, and has had no life experience that can be displayed on the blank spaces in her walls. With the loss of identity and not figuring out herself at the age of 18 really impacted her character, as I highlighted by making Madeline say, another year of missing all the normal teenager things. Learner's permit, first kiss, prom, first heartbreak, first fender bender. Madeline's trust in herself and finding her identity within herself is built on by every chapter throughout the novel.
Amy Bedakowski asks, what are some of the main techniques you use in your novel, and how do you think of them?
One of the main questions I get asked often is why I have a run-through on the literary techniques which I had to include in order to make it a YA novel. One of the main techniques that I focused on was symbolism and highlighting simple concepts to the life of Madeline. I dreamt that the house breathes at me. I exhale and the walls exhale like a pinpricked balloon, crushing me as it deflates. I inhale and the walls expand. This is to show her strong connection with the room, describing the white room as being a part of her. The room is a symbolism technique that displays high standards of imagery and portrays her life for the past 18 years as just being there, but nowhere living it the way she wants to, kind of like free-falling. It shows that she has had enough living under the only identity she has always been labeled, being sick and disinfected her entire life. Although Madeline is stuck in a room of whiteness, unsure what her life may hold for her ahead, she wants to discover the world and see who she truly is, loving Ollie in the process and living through the characters in the books she reads. Often people misjudge the power of words or the power of metaphors, similes, hyperboles, and repetition, which is why I made sure to include them in every opportunity I got. The main conflict of the book is the disease and the problems Madeline faces because of it, and this acts as a boundary through hyperbole. I have been able to emphasize this. Madeline responding to Ollie, asking what would happen if she went outside. My head would explode, or my lungs, or my heart. Madeline's character was very strong, and the only way to describe her sorrow was through metaphors to enhance the effect. The pain is a Dead Sea. Teenagers are all the same all around. Give them an inch and they will take a mile. The similes such as the furniture is aged white wicker then looks like it's been sitting in the sun, or me in love would be like a food critic with no taste buds. It would be like a color-blind painter. By adding these techniques, the reader much more effectively takes the information in, as it is not only much more interesting, but also allows the reader to imagine the scene in their heads and visualize. The use of repetition is so strong with a similar effect, as the more a word is said, the more intense it brings, as when Carla kept repeating, "Life is a gift, love can't kill you," over and over again, and this made Madeline repeat it over and over again until she truly believed it, and had the courage to do what she did, as she thought to herself, "Life is a gift. Am I wasting mine?" One part of the story, Madeline and her mother play phonetic, a phonetic version of Scrabble, and has tiles to place. OWTSYD, which is Otsd, FRIDUM, freedom, and SEEKRITS, skirts, which are outside, freedom, and secrets. All the things she is thinking about, foreshadowing the rest of the story. Another example of foreshadowing is when Carla says love can't kill you, when later in the story this gets taken literally. It creates tension, drama, as well as make the reader keener to find out what lays ahead.
I think that's all we have time for today.
Well, you all have been a wonderful audience, and thank you so much for having both Haysan and I today, and we hope you enjoyed this masterclass. Feel free to come and ask any questions you may have, and both Haysan and myself will gladly answer. Goodbye!
Bye.